Alright guys, we are back. This is CA Gaming. I think the audio is alright. I think I need to talk a little louder, so I'm gonna try and do that this episode. If you guys are having any problem hearing or anything like that, any suggestions, just let me know in the comments. I'll be sure to look at them and take them into consideration. Besides that, I think we'll get into the game again, part 2 of episode 1, the Mad Ones of the Council. My first playthrough on YouTube. And also I was thinking of, you know, how everybody has like a name for their followers. I was thinking CA Country, CA Country, you know? Think about it, and adopt it if you want. There you go. Alright, let's get into it. We've already looked through the letters.
Let's see what's hidden inside.
I think there's some that we missed.
Let's look.
There's some... This one. I think we missed this one.
This envelope is meant for the Vatican. This name sounds familiar. Pashi. No. Can't seem to place it.
Alright, well that's all of them. Let's continue. Look around. I think I saw something over here.
A lantern. Nothing special.
Wow, thanks for your insightful dialogue there, Lily.
Some rope. Apparently no one's touched it for a good long time.
Not many visitors out here in the abandoned, well, not abandoned, but sort of remote island. It kind of reminds me of that one story where there's this man who hunts shipwrecked people on an island. It's a short story that I read in high school, I think, once. Pretty creepy, but let me see. Alright. Let's go down here. See what we got over here. I can finally go over here. This is where I wanted to go in the beginning before the servant cut me off.
A wooden floorboard.
Interesting.
Probably comes from this part of the wharf. The wood is slightly eaten away, of course, but it still would have been fine if it weren't smashed.
Okay, why is this important?
Probably comes from this part of the wharf. The wood is slightly eaten away, of course, but it still would have been fine if it weren't smashed.
Alright. I guess I need to be vigilant or something to get any real information out of that. Open the gate. If I...
Locked. I'll never get it open barehanded.
Damn it. Yeah, I have the bar. Can I use the bar?
Clearly, I'm not much for manual labor.
Damn.
Let's see if I can get it open another way.
Force it open with the bar. I need a jelly too. Subterfuges. Let me see. Character. I don't think I have any ability points. Ooh, well. 4 points left for level 2. Okay, see your servants. Conviction. All Mortimer's servants wear a mask. It is a recurring subject of conversation among the guests. No one knows the true reason. Okay, that's weird. Emmanuel Godoy. Okay, nothing about him, just etiquette. Alright, well, I can't do anything here. I need to be more resourceful when I come back. What's this? More royal jelly. Can I take that? Short 2 effort points. Yes. Alright. Now we've got almost full effort points, and we can head up here. Some saying.
Latin inscription.
Boom, Latin.
En nessis, mi
Knew
fili
it.
quantilia produncia mundus ergatur.
Latin, easy to translate.
You don't know, my son, how little wisdom the world is governed with. I tend to agree.
Lord Mortimer, conviction. Okay, let's see what that means. William Mortimer. Immunity, conviction. So he's immune to conviction, immune to etiquette. Emily is immune to logic. Huh. Alright. Okay. Does remind me a little bit of Dishonored 2, the style.
How did Mortimer manage to build his manor at the top of a rocky outcrop?
Whoa. What's that, Poseidon? Or Neptune?
Whoa. Impressive.
Ah, my son. I was looking for you.
What can I do for you, Your Eminence?
I wanted to ask you. You are the son of Sara de Riche, aren't you? You see, your mother and I were supposed to meet here on this very spot. I was supposed to hand her a very important envelope. But I haven't seen her.
If only Mother had told me why she was coming here. Anyway, I ought to take the envelope. It might have something to do with her disappearance. Listen, if it will help, you can always give it to me.
Confrontations. During a confrontation, you have to go through several steps while being as persuasive as possible. Confrontations have consequences on the rest of the story, so don't hesitate to use your skills. Each confrontation displays an interface showing how much the person you are talking to is convinced.
Thank you, my
God.
son. I'll bear that in mind. I'd rather deal with her directly. Don't take it personally. Would you happen to know if your mother has arrived yet?
Certainly, Your Eminence. Mother got here some time ago. I was hoping to find her when I arrived, but given the hour, she must be asleep by now.
Right. I shall see her tomorrow.
By the way, Your Eminence, I wasn't aware you knew my mother.
Ah, if you only knew, my son. I hold your mother in the highest regard. She has rendered great service to the church, and her help is invaluable. I hope that you will follow in her footsteps.
If only she had told me where she was headed.
Nonetheless, our exchanges have always been discreet, and I should like them to remain as such. If your mother wishes to speak to you about us one day, I will not mind if she does so.
That is very commendable. But since we work together on a daily basis, it's surely just an oversight.
Most certainly. You said you work together. What do you do exactly?
Mother passed her passion for art to me. Ancient art. Very ancient.
I didn't know your mother was an art lover.
Mainly pre-Christian objects, which are believed to have unique properties.
Well, how interesting. Now that you mention it, I can indeed imagine Sarah getting interested in that.
All the same, it bothers me to see you in a quandary, Your Eminence. Is there any other solution? Look, if it's of any help, you can always leave your envelope with me, and I'll give it to her as soon as I see her.
I hesitate. Up till now, we have always dealt with her in person, and that has always been successful. Do you think I should give it to you?
Listen, you have nothing to fear. I will give your letter to my mother the moment I find her.
The moment you find her? You mean Sarah has gone missing?
Shit. I shouldn't have said that.
Let's not exaggerate, Your Eminence. I have no other information at this time. It's probably nothing.
Listen to me, child. If I give you the letter, can you promise me before God that no one other than your mother will read it?
For the last step of a confrontation, you must convince the person you are talking to by giving a positive answer. If you give a bad answer, the step will repeat itself until either you give a right one or you have no blunders left. Okay, the last step of a confrontation will repeat itself if you fail. Okay.
Your Eminence, if there's one thing you can count on, it's the value of a promise made by a Dervish. Respecting our commitments has always been the pillar of our family, and nothing nor nobody will prevent that from happening. Since you know my mother, you should know that a Dervish always keeps their word. You can be sure of that.
Thank you, my son. It is most reassuring.
You're welcome, especially since I promised you nothing, my friend.
Listen, let's stop there. I'm going to tell you a secret, Monsieur Dervish. Your mother and I are organizing the escape of a large number of French priests who face a massacre organized by the accursed Republican tribunals. The church is literally being bled like a beast. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine. She has made the services of your order available to us by organizing the priests' safe passage across the borders. Even if she does not share all our convictions, she always provided assistance. Young man, you can be proud to be her son. Be it only for her sake. Always respect your name. Here, the letter I spoke of. It includes a list of about 15 names ready for departure. Be quick. Remember to tell Sarah when you see her that time is short.
Well played. I'll decide later when I'm alone whether to look at what it contains.
Hidden elements. Many clues and items are hidden. Some of them will have an impact on your adventurers, so do not hesitate to look for them. Okay, and that was very successful. Go back to the group near the chimney. Alright, I am kind of surprised I actually managed to do that. Let me fill up my points just a little. I think I can do it when I'm talking to someone. Should I investigate or should I just go to the group? Is everyone there? I don't know. Let's see. Devil's Thorn. Devil's Thorn grants you the Exalted State. You temporarily use the immunities and vulnerabilities affecting a dialogue choice in a conversation. You cannot carry more than 5. You temporarily see the immunities and vulnerabilities affecting a dialogue choice in a conversation. Ah. Very useful. Locked. Of course. And upstairs, I think I'm gonna wait. Now, with these kinds of games, you don't really know when to go explore and when to do what you need to. I think I can explore later. What is
Lives
this?
of the Noble Greeks and Romans by Plutarch, a biography of the great men.
Manuscripts. Manuscripts allow you to educate yourself during the adventure. At the start of each quest, you can choose what to read and gain permanent skill points. Find your manuscripts by using the inventory tab in the menu. Okay. Well, here's this. Parallel lives, and conviction and diversion. Miyagi's letter. Okay. Ooh, chess. I like chess.
I thought my chimney was big, but this one is beyond belief.
It's the least
This
one
guy.
can say. I've been
Where?
longing for a warm fire for ages.
Since I set foot on the island, I haven't ventured more than 2 yards away from it.
Have you also just arrived?
Oh, late morning, I'd say.
Louis, come join us. Monsieur, may I introduce you to Monseigneur His Eminence, Cardinal Piaggi. He joins us straight from Rome.
Oh, just call me Your Eminence. It's simpler.
George Washington, President of the United States of
George
America.
Washington.
Delighted at last to make your acquaintance, Mr. President.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. President. Louis Moras de Richet. It is an honor to meet you.
Young man, let's keep it simple, please. Let us forget our fancy titles. Nice to meet you, Louis.
I should imagine you never thought you'd be in such company.
I must admit that I didn't. It's the first time that I've ever met so many illustrious personalities.
And you haven't seen anything yet. Generally, when Lord Mortimer organizes one of his receptions, there are over a dozen people here.
They can't all be here yet. And you'll see, most of the time there's only the upper crust.
And I noticed you were already getting to know His Eminence at the entrance. It's the perfect place to build up a network. What were you talking about, if you forgive my indiscretion?
At the risk of disappointing you, we weren't conspiring in our corner, sir. His Eminence was simply telling me that he knew my mother and how much he held her in high esteem.
It so happens that Monsieur de Richet's mother is to join us.
Oh, pity. No scrumptious gossip or juicy tidbits, unmentionable secrets, or even money matters. But you'll see, it will come. Despite all the goodwill in the world, you can't stop people scheming left and right around here.
Speak for yourself, sir.
Well, my friends, do any of you know the reason why we're here this time?
Not in the slightest. As for me, I've been invited by Sir Horn, a close friend of Lord Mortimer, but I do not know the reason why.
You see, Louis, every time Lord Mortimer organizes a reception, he always finds a moment to set up a chat with all the guests.
During which time we remake the world.
Accompanied by gallons of absinthe and cussing. I'll leave you to imagine the result.
So, if I understand rightly, Monsieur de Richet, you've come out here to join your mother. For what reason, exactly?
Like you, Mr. President, I'm here as a result of Lord Mortimer's invitation.
2 members of the same family here. That is rare.
You know what they say. You can pick your nose, but you can't pick your family.
Seriously, though, I know your mother well. Stay behind with me afterwards, and we'll take a moment to speak about her.
Good Lord! Washington is wearing the emblem of the Grand Master of the Golden Order. It's the highest distinction of the order in the United States. It puts him on par with my mother. He must really know his stuff when it comes to the occult.
Good evening, my friends.
Holy shit! That's the man for my vision.
An urgent case has delayed our host, Lord Mortimer. He can't be present this evening, and he sends his deepest apology.
He's asked me here and he hasn't even turned up? Great start. Do you know that man?
Sir Gregory Holm, an English aristocrat, very influential. He's also close to Lord Mortimer, so don't be surprised if he acts like he's at home.
And now, my dear guests, a light meal is served in the small salon. For those who would like to, you're invited to follow me into the next room.
My dear fellow, you must have read my thoughts. I shall follow.
We'll have to be careful not to make too much noise. One of Lord Mortimer's guests is relaxing.
Oh, we shall be quiet.
Don't take it the wrong way, Sir Holm, but I have already eaten. Thus, I shall be happy to remain by the fireside.
If you don't mind, Gregory, I should like to keep Mr. Washington company.
Please feel at home. And you, sir?
If I stay with Washington, we'll be able to speak about my mother. But on the other hand, I'd like to learn more about this home. I saw him in my vision.
I'm gonna say with Washington, that seems more
Let's see what Washington
beneficial.
has to say.
Sir, if you don't mind, I shall stay here.
Do exactly as you please, young man.
Interesting.
Thank
George
you for
Washington.
Just like you, when I arrived this morning, I found out that Sarah had gone missing. I know your mother well. Don't worry. Emily is from the English branch of the Golden Order.
And President Washington is in fact the leader of the Order in the United States.
I didn't know.
Sorry to have made you wait, but I didn't want to speak in front of the others.
You did well. Secrecy and discretion are the pillars of our organization.
If I can help in any way at all, please don't hesitate to ask, my lad. And if you have any other questions, now's the time.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
Lord Mortimer is a remarkable man. He's wealthy and is advisor to the very highly placed. Your mother is the head of the Order in France. It doesn't surprise me that he asked her to come.
Lord Mortimer greatly contributed to financing my electoral campaign, for example. But I want this to be clear, without ever seeking to gain an advantage.
And that is to his credit.
Yes, you can trust him. He will do everything in his power to help you find Sarah.
Mr. Washington, you seem to be very familiar with my mother.
When did you last speak to her?
Philadelphia, 15 years ago. Sarah often went back and forth between France and the United States.
Yes, I remember those days. I didn't see her too often. Right. Would it be too much if I asked you a few more questions?
Not at all. Go ahead. But I can't promise I'll remember everything.
May I ask, when you saw each other, what did you talk about? So, my mother was with you.
You just encountered an immunity. One effort point is blocked.
During the American Revolution. Did you talk about politics?
Yes. In spite of her young age, she defended our cause with enthusiasm.
Did she go to the front line like your famous gunner, Molly Pitcher?
Yes, in a way.
The role given to women in your war was a great step forward.
Louis, I am impressed. Few people know about the legend of Molly, so you don't know the true story. Molly Pitcher is a character invented by Sarah. She persuaded me to use a heroic female figure, an American Joan of Arc, if you will. It enabled us to gain a few thousand extra fighters, and it was all thanks to your mother.
I didn't know that. Thank you, sir. I was hoping to speak with Lord Mortimer. At least now I have some information, thanks to you.
I repeat, Lord Mortimer is a man of his word. You won't be disappointed. And I am persuaded that your mother's research is his main concern.
Mother still is at the head of the Golden Order. I find it difficult to believe that she came to this island without notifying the other members.
As for myself, I did not know. I am here at the request of Sir Holm, a situation regarding the Crown of England to resolve, and to see what Lord Mortimer has to propose to us.
As for me, Lord Mortimer asked me here to speak about the future of America. I did not know that your mother would even be among us. In any case, no one has yet mentioned associating the Order.
We haven't found many clues yet.
Don't worry, Louis. I'm sure nothing bad has happened to her.
Yes, I hope not.
careful, they're coming back.
Well, I am impressed with all this splendor.
But don't spend too much time with Mr. Washington, my dear, or you'll lose your pretty accent. You seem to be intrigued by that statue.
Absolutely. It is remarkable.
Lord Mortimer is fond of atypical works of art. I won't disguise the fact that I find it all a little megalomaniacal. But I must say, he does have some outstanding pieces.
So, who was that young lady with you?
Elizabeth Adams, Mr. President. She would have liked to have stayed with us, but the poor thing is exhausted.
Elizabeth Adams?
Miss Adams is here to rest. You have perhaps already come across her in the corridors.
Zeus, the statue of Zeus. Lightning bolt. Well, I guess I did miss out. I mean, what was I supposed to do? I would miss out on other things. I guess it's just, maybe it's like you kind of have to play through it more than once, which that would be the best way to do an episodic game. Reliable. You gain 1 skill point of manipulation. You obtain Piaghi's letter. George Washington. Immunity. Politics. Damn. George Washington is the founding father and first president of the United States of America. Washington shared his life between military and political success very early on. He was introduced by Sarah de Rocher into the upper circles of an influential secret society from France, the Golden Order. He later took the helm of the American branch. Tired of politics, he wanted to retire to his property in Virginia, but that was without taking into account Lord Mortimer, who encouraged him to come out of retirement. On the advice of his friend, he ran for a second term and was successful. Invited by Mortimer to his island, Washington likes to attend such social gatherings incognito. Yeah, I did not know it was him. Didn't really recognize him at all. Home. Sir Gregory Home. Sir Gregory Home, Baron of Nottingham, is a very influential British aristocrat. Confirmed royalist, Sir Gregory Home spent his career extending the influence of the United Kingdom throughout the world, from the flourishing East India Company to the Spanish trading posts in America. He stamped his hallmark on key decisions made by the world's preeminent economic power in England. He contributed to the reduction of the national debt, and being very attached to family values, he invested time in the working class, creating charity schools in order to offer a decent education to the future links in the next industrial revolution. A network builder, Home always finds pleasure in attending the social gatherings of his old friend, Lord Mortimer. Okay.
She arrived a few days ago.
I perceived her, but we weren't introduced.
Rest assured, she is not here for the same reasons as yourselves. Consequently, I'm counting on your indulgence. On that note, it's very late. You must be exhausted. The servant will accompany you to your rooms.
Elizabeth Adams. Whoa, now that's a haircut. Elizabeth Adams is the daughter of John Adams. I was thinking he was going to be Vice President of the United States. Elizabeth was rejected by her parents at birth and was declared stillborn. Brought up in isolation, she grew into a frail young woman with bipolar disorder, devoured by her terrible fits of anxiety. Her deepest secrets were slowly gnawing away at her from the inside. Despite numerous treatments, nothing could cure her. The young woman continued to descend into folly. As a friend of Sir Gregory Home and of Lord Mortimer, John Adams decided to send his daughter to Lord Mortimer's manor in the hope that he could help her. With little hope, Elizabeth has now been at the manor for a short while. Oh, I see that.
Ladies, gentlemen, I bid you all good night. Mr. President, Your Eminence, Duchess, you have the same rooms as usual. You, Monsieur de Richet, will find your room at the end of the corridor.
Well, my friends, I am bone tired. I am off to my bed. See you in the morning.
Good night, sir. I shall do likewise.
Louis, I shall see you in the morning. Sleep well.
Good night. See you tomorrow.
Oh man, it's been quite a day. Right, where is my room?
Yes, where is my room? Or where is something to investigate? There is no rest for the weary. Dun, dun, dun. Collector coin. Uh-huh. What is down here, I wonder?
Monsieur Napoleon Bonaparte.
Wow! Monsieur Napoleon Bonaparte? Oh, right. Wow. Okay, Napoleon Bonaparte.
Monsieur Jacques Peru.
Monsieur Jacques Peru. Jacques Peru, excuse me. I don't know him. Jacques Peru. I don't know him. Anything else?
A few leaves out of an old encyclopedia.
Golden elixir cures all your negative alterations.
Golden elixir.
I think that is what would fix me, but I don't need that right now.
Decorum guide.
Man, I'm finding all kinds of useful stuff. It's a pretty big area, and I'm glad that you can explore it. It's much better than a usual point-and-click game. This doesn't say anything. And who is this?
Monsieur Johann von Wulner.
Johann von Wulner. Don't know him either. Seems like an older part of the house.
President George Washington.
President George Washington. I've already met. Exploring, what's this? Another royal jelly. Very useful, I like them. It adds more game mechanics to
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
the game mechanics that they've added adds a lot more to a typical episodic, like the oh, there's one. To the general one of like a Telltale game.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Collector coin.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Okay. And I could go down, but no. I'm gonna go to my room, which is down here.
Huh, that's me.
Okay.
Right. So what shall I do with this letter? It might be about my mother's disappearance. But if I open it, I'll be betraying Piaggi's trust. What should I do?
Oh. You can open the letter without breaking the seal. Subterfuges, damn. Alright, what should I do, what should I do, what should I do? I feel like I shouldn't, I feel like, you know, you really want to know the information, but I feel like it's gonna hurt me down the road. I don't feel like it's gonna be that important. So
Can't wait to open it, but I gave my word to Piaggi, so... Too bad. I'll wait until I hand it to Mother. Wow! Nice room. Mortimer sure doesn't do things halfway.
I think he meant half-assed. Ah, fireplace again. The graphics. I can't get over the graphics. The graphics are very impressive for an episodic. At least I think so.
Inferno by Dante.
Ooh.
Abandon hope, all ye who enter here. Lovely lectures Mortimer's giving to his guests. Very jolly.
Lock. I need subterfuges. I need to get subterfuges, whatever that is. Kimlight Water. Kimlight Water gives you the focused state. Your next skill use will cost no effort. Okay. I like that. Statue very into the picturesque.
Saint Jerome and the Angel. Yet again, art with political undertones with an image of a saint hearing voices. Saturn devouring his son. Again? I saw the same theme in the hall. I wouldn't like to be his son. Saint Francis of Assisi in ecstasy, before superior voices. The conversion of Saint Paul, like Caravaggio. It's incredible. It doesn't look like a copy, but I was sure the original was in Rome. Saint Francis of Assisi in ecstasy, before superior voices. It always amuses me to see how art gets used for propaganda purposes.
Huh. I like this character.
Judith beheading Holofernes. Ironic in a way, when you know that the artist represented herself as Judith beheading her mentor, who had raped her.
Wow. I like his knowledge of history and it shows you how people manipulate things into their favor. Yeah, let's go outside. Some floating books. Wow. This is a hell of a room. Hell of a view. Let's see what's over here. This is open. Kimlight Water and jelly. Royal jelly. Okay. Collector's coin.
This is Circe.
Huh? Another collector's coin. I guess this is Circe. This is. I guess if you have a spyglass, maybe you can look at that. Alright, let's head back in. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do, but, Episode 1, off the coast of England. Success. I went up to the manor. I found clues about my mother on the docks. I convinced Piaggi to trust me with his letter. I met Mr. Washington. I remained in the Grand Hall to speak with Mr. Washington. I asked questions about my mother. Failed. I did not find all the clues about my mother on the docks. I didn't pick up the book on the quay. alternate paths. I could have joined Sir Home in the small saloon. I could have made an unexpected encounter. Okay. It's sort of like a episodic RPG. I don't know. I like it. Objectives completed, traits unlocked, characters traits revealed, new characters met, vulnerabilities explored, items found. Ah, 4 more points. Okay, leveling up grants you 3 effort points. Okay. So I can do this, I guess. I don't know. Notice noteworthy details are oddly placed. Questioning. Make it questioning. Logic. Use your logical mind and oratorical. Use your coordination against your surroundings and sometimes we're subterfuges. Occultists rely on your knowledge of mystical and religious symbols as well as ancient languages and secret societies to act in your own interest. Erudition, benefit from a sound cultural background in arts, geography, and history. Science, subterfuges. Oh, I would like the knowledge. I don't think I need that. Logic, I think I might want logic. There. Validate.